So we have two decks to switch gears now, Jay, and we'll switch gears as I switch accounts because I loaded up Jay's decks on the other account. You want to start talking about them, Jay, while I get us there?
Absolutely. So the first deck we're going to start with was, so as you all remember, hopefully from a couple of weeks back, we did a bunch of work with Scape Shift because we could see the train coming.
Yeah, and then it arrived.
And then it arrived, and now you can play against Scape Shift in a full third of all your games online in any format, or in any of the various constructed formats. And of course, now that the deck's there, I have no interest in it. I hate it as much as I hate anything I have to play. This is the dominant deck.
Right. We figured it out. Now we're done.
Right. I mean, I'm done with it. I mean, I'm a deck builder. I care less about actually having to play it and grinding through it. I want to. So I was experimenting with things that could beat it. I was trying Alpine Moon decks, Blood Sun decks, anything that was, might be interesting against it. And honestly, none of them really worked all that well. I mean, the best answer was just race them. And weirdly enough, Ashiok came in, and there was this one game where I was playing against something, and I got an Ashiok, and they were playing, I think they weren't playing actually the shift deck. I think they were playing some sort of bad gate deck. Anyway, they circuitous routed for 0 lands, and I'm like, oh, wait, this shuts them down. I was playing this deck, testing it again some more last night, and somebody Scape Shift getting themselves. Funniest thing ever. Because they can't search their deck for lands.
Right. I love it.
And as a side benefit, it also beats those random losses that I was kind of hating to Command the Dreadhorde as well, because it just eats their discard. So this deck, and I don't think it's the ultimate be-all and end-all deck, but it's solid, and it's got some interesting tweaks to it. It's basically just blue-black. There may be a better full Esper variant, but I feel like there's something in blue-black that should work, and so I was trying to kind of hit a double header. I'm using basically card power to substitute for tutors. And anyway, and that card, that's sort of an experiment, but it's been doing really well.
Dibbleford?
I think, the Vile Offering.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you just moused over it, but
right.
The Vile Offering, that card's crazy powerful. I mean, look at what it does. I mean,
those are two good things.
For 5? Yeah. Okay, they play their Teferi. I destroy your Teferi, and I get out your Liliana. Not bad on efficiency.
Yeah.
There may be something, and I know there's some graveyard recursion decks, but I know one of them's right in this deck. I'm wondering how much space this has to go with. With that card has to go with. There may be a deck lurking under it.
Right.
The rest of it's just defense. Again, the deck is strong. It's not perfect yet. It's going to take some tweaking and some time, but it's good enough to show off. So I wanted to show this one off for starters.
Yeah, let's try it. And Wujo, it's not just about Scape Shift, but Scape Shift is pretty dominant, and certainly this is somewhat of a metagame deck choice. It's a rock, scissors, paper type deck choice, and it's going to be good. But it's got game against, like we got rituals against the small creature stuff, and so looking forward to trying it out.
I want to mention one other really important thing to watch for. When you play an Ashiok, it is crazy how badly people play against it. Now, this is one of those things. This is not a hyper, millstone deck. You do mill people out sometime, but it's a terrible win condition. Let people bend over backwards to kill it. It's that whole millstoning feels bad to me, so I'm going to act against it.
Right. Like it's gotta die.
I've had a Liliana on the table and one of these, and they kill this thing first. Crazy.
I'm gonna go to standard here. Count is paid for what that's worth. Couple of comments to track down. Oh, this is a fine little start here. We'll keep this. Slate B asks, I've noticed arena bots almost never pass rares, even bad limited ones. Is that for economy reasons, or do you have some other explanation? I think they do pass them early. I think it's funny. I hear the community somehow manages to hold these two concepts in their head. The bots never pass me rares, and oh my god, let me screenshot this shot of this bot passing me a pick 5 Dracuseth or whatever, right? So they do pass rares. I don't know where they ended up, but my suggestion to the team as we were working this stuff out was to put a cap on, because they rank them based on whatever number. Like, okay, this rare gets a 4.5 as an average pick position. Well, just make sure that no rare, no matter how bad it is, say that it's pick 8 at the latest. Just don't let rares wheel.
Augur, by the way.
Sorry, Augur, yeah. So that was my suggestion. I don't know if they put it. They probably did, because there's some. Okay, we want to keep ritual against mono red.
You've got one sweeper, so it was a little bit of a toss-up.
Oh, sure, that's fair. I'm just kind of talking and playing. This is
I realize.
Classic Ryan barely paying attention to standard.
That's going to kill you on the next one. Fair warning.
Okay, good enough. So anyway, I think it's Wizards could be as greedy as they want. They could say every bot takes every rare no matter what. They could make it so that the only rares you even had a chance of getting are in the opener. That doesn't seem right. That doesn't seem like real drafting. But I always felt like telling the bots that they should draft rares no matter what at like level 7, 6, 7, 8 actually just reflects kind of human drafting. If you go to a store, how often do you wheel a rare at a store, even a junk one? Like, if people are keeping what they draft, rares don't generally wheel. They just don't. So actually, I think if you're trying to simulate real drafting with bots, kind of putting a cap on the rares makes sense anyway.
My understanding was that the bots on Magic Online are actually simulating real play after a certain period of time.
Yes, but they're simulating. Well, when I was there, they were getting a lot of their initial data based on Magic Online, which was had a few days of. We had a lot of internal testing, and then all right, let me go. We're going Backwater and Azcanta here. Let's get that going. So initially, the way it would work is it would pull data from Magic Online and then use that to dictate. But the trouble is,
was the seed.
What's that?
That was the seed.
That was the seed, and if you seed your bot logic with Magic Online drafting tactics, then the rares are going to wheel all over the place, because on Magic Online, the bulk rares are 5 cents, 10 cents, and they do go 13th or whatever. But at a store, they wouldn't. At a store, that quote 5 cent rare, frankly, would just not go 13th. So let's see. We want to cast down and erase here. I guess we start with Erasure.
That makes a whole lot of sense.
Get rid of this frenzy.
What I was saying was, you've got to take out experimental.
Yeah, that's their best card. I guess we want more land, so let's keep this. Let's build up our land.
My understanding, though, was that over time, that data would be basically overwhelmed by the information from actual drafts. So they keep updating the seed over time.
Yes, although when I left, they were still updating the seed based on updated Magic Online numbers because they had the pipeline. They weren't updating it internally with arena numbers. Which is, I think, what you obviously want to do.
I think they're using arena numbers now,
right?
Maybe from a discussion from someone who said too much.
And but that would make sense. What I would expect them to do is use arena numbers, and then I think you just let it be natural, and then arena players don't let rares go around either. So I think it's actually pretty accurate for the bots to not wheel rares if you're trying to get them to simulate human players. So that's that. Oh, I wanted to... Wujo is here. Hey, Wujo. I feel like I've accidentally snubbed you a couple times, and I caught... As I was doing some video editing for my YouTube channel, I noticed that you were like, oh, you asked me something and you really wanted an answer. I didn't get there for you. If you want to do that now, I'm here. I'm listening. Also, yeah, Blood Sun from Mama noticing that. Well, I got a lot of scrolling to do. All right, let's see. We got to play this land. We're just waiting. This is funny. Oh, nice. With that, they get... oh, no, we're going to go ahead and contempt that so they don't get but the one.
And then they can't cast off of it.
They get one light of the stage, not both.
Graveyard it?
Yeah, sorry. All right. I'm trying to catch up on chat, and I think we're caught up. Let's see. All right.
Anti-transform.
Transform. Should opt now in case we want to main phase something, or are we just on...
I would opt now just because
instant
it's
speed.
Just opt. There's enough creatures you can draw that...
Oh, there you go. Should we keep this? Make him nervous? What are they going to do about it?
Don't keep it. Don't keep it.
Okay, yeah, because they just have...
it's
not really great against
you
them.
have to put it on the bottom. Oh, there it goes. Okay.
We tried. Did we play this anyway? Nothing else to do. Oh, I guess the other thing we have to do is
draw with...
draw there, yeah. I'm going to wait on that, though.
You can play and then watch them get all unhappy about it.
Right, and that's the thing. We play it, and it's like... make opponent go crazy with their choices.
So I can't see Oppo's deck size on the Twitter channel. Oh, there it goes. No, it doesn't show me. There it is. Thank you. There is a marginal chance he'll draw a piece of removal, so before he swings, you might as well check.
Sure.
Especially since he's kind enough to deploy everything.
Yeah, he's just going to play right into the Cry. I bet we win off of when we cast the Cry. I know if I'm playing this deck, which I do often, as soon as my opponent does something in a control deck to really take over the board, I am donezo. I am gone. Yeah, interesting that they know about the soot and still ran it out.
Yeah, certainly they should swing first. They should have swung first to see, but...
Well, let's just take a look here. I could wait till they're attacking. Technically, this is slightly off in terms of sequencing, but we'll go ahead and take the cast down and use it.
No, no, no.
Why not?
You want to take the Viraksha. Because the life you lose, you'll get back.
Well, so it's on, but I get to cast this now, and Vraska I couldn't cast right now. And right now I get to just...
but you get to blow the ritual and 2-for-1 them.
That's true. Oh, well. This is what we've done. I'm going to save the life here.
We're marginal difference here.
Yeah, I'll start here again. Bottom that. Keep playing the land. We do find, though... We'll cry for low value. We just want to keep our life total high, and we're going to be able to find another...
Search for another card.
Search for another card. We have Ritual ready. We have Ashiok to drive him nuts. We do not have a means to deal effectively with a Planeswalker, though. Let's see if... And Jay's call on my fail is now... Because that's a reason to go for the other one. At least we have a tool for Planeswalkers. Maybe we'll find another one here. Ritual of Soot... I'm going to take the less expensive one just in case that matters. Most of their stuff is small, and we do have the ritual in case we need it.
You want to play with fire, huh? This is just going to be bad for you.
I guess we Dream Render now, but we'll look first. Let's check check for a deliberate, straightforward answer. How about Mu Yanling? Let's see. What do they get here? We don't know what their card is. They may find Burn that makes this not great.
I would probably go with the other one just for
Narset?
the card power.
Yeah, find ourselves
Yeah.
a Vraska's Contempt.
There are so many. Keep an open mind.
All right. Narset into Narset.
One of the amazing things about this deck is how truly far you churn through it.
Yeah, we're
I mean, you've blown
Cruising
through
through.
at least half the deck, if not more.
close.
Do you have a way to tell?
35, yeah, I hovered over
No, but think about how many you put on the bottom.
Oh, well, we can look if we haven't shuffled.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, yeah, so we've churned over through a lot more, actually.
Mm-hmm. It's a weird.
In the
sort of
meantime, we
open
might die,
feeling.
yes.
Yeah.
Meditate and prepare.
This still doesn't help.
That's not a pretty good defense answer, though, the Liliana.
Yeah. Yeah, it does give us a creature at least, too.
Mm-hmm.
The undead make
You like-
great minions.
Yeah.
Make a zombie?
And
Absolutely.
what a good mindless minion.
Yeah, and I guess Narset instead of searching this way, right?
Toss up here. I've never really quite figured out which one I like better in this case.
Yeah. They both get exactly the same types of things, right?
A little more flexibility on Narset. Narset grabs you planeswalkers.
Hmm. I don't know if Planeswalker helps. I'm gonna go with Narset.
Past, present, and future are bound by threads of time. Hone your prowess.
Probably just opt. We're not. They're gonna dump their hand, and we don't have the 2 to pull what's probably a land anyway. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Let's light it up.
All this value, but still near dead. In fact, we're basically dead. Like, we can't deal damage to Chandra now without dealing damage to us. And this skewer, it means we're just straight up dead. So that was all well, good, and fun, and we did powerful things, but red is still a great deck.
And this is part of the issue with a deck that isn't quite there, where you can just taste it. I know it can be tweaked to get there, but it hasn't quite hit it yet.
You think I should restart the client, Wujo? Are you talking... Is it chunky? All right, well, it's pretty easy to do that. If you think it'll help, we can give it a try. Is audio sync still good for everybody? I made some audio sync adjustments that I haven't changed, so if it ever seems like my voice isn't lining up to what you're seeing, let me know, because we can tweak that. All right, back in with this one. Oh, I should also update my details on what we're doing here. So I'm going to bring that back. I'm going to go to my panel. Give me 1 second here. I can take a look. Oh, we can keep this, though. I'm going to opt now so that I can auto pass while I go. And we're going to Thought Erasure and hopefully... Oh, I guess we want to find blue, but we'll find it through the Thought Eraser scry. That's my plan there. And we're gonna go standard.
One funny thing about Ashiok is Ashiok keeps the graveyard clear from the lava runners. So it
that's true.
isn't entirely useless in this fight other than as a kill condition.
We're in a pretty brutal spot here, though. We don't want them to double spell next turn, and if okay, well that's good. They're low on land. No land. We have, what are our defenses against what they've got going on? We're actually pretty weak against red here. Probably just the Steamkin, though. Let them have the Firebrand, or do we take the Firebrand?
It's sort of a toss-up on which one you want to get rid of here. You can make a strong... I may go with the Firebrand.
Yeah, just cut them.
Their mana is so low.
Make them find land.
Them. Yeah.
All right, we'll take the Firebrand and say, ooh, we take that as well. Although if they find... No, I'm going to look for island. We want to find blue. We got all this blue action here. All right, I'm going to distract him with an Ashiok.
Or Narset.
We can't do Narset yet. This thing.
Never mind. You don't have the double blue. Never mind.
Ashiok speaks too slowly, given how fast his dialogue all runs together when you cast him. Well, they don't care about Ashiok. They're just going to ignore that. Makes sense. Like I said, just trying to distract him with it. Now we got to search and hope that's reasonable.
Of course, if you are able to top deck something, you might win relatively quickly.
Right. I guess we need that, even though it doesn't, like, what are we trying to draw if we don't keep this, you know?
You do have the one sweeper at 3, but
that's true.
You have to, but you keep it this way.
Yeah, I think we keep this and try and find said sweeper.
You have to, yeah. Next turn, they're going to hit you for 3, 4, 5. But yeah, drop out.
We got a Narset and we got a search to try and find our answer.
Yeah.
Cast down. Not exactly what we need, but if we can't find our sweeper, it may help us survive.
It'll help us survive after we draw our sweeper.
I think that will do. Will it, though? Let's see. The Chain Whirler survives, and then we take 3 and go to 2 and probably just die. But, man, how do we not take something?
Don't take it.
Got to go for it. All right, got to find something better.
We went with the bet on the ritual, which there are more of, and we have the draw.
Hone your prowess.
There we go. We got there. And the cast down gets the next one. And we'll go ahead and...
Mill them. You're actually maybe sort of pushing their deck a little bit. Since you have 2 Ashioks in hand.
By killing Ashiok, we can't Offering now, because it needs... hold on. Do we want 6 mana? 6 mana, what does that get us? Gets us cast... We don't really need 6, because we still get cast down and Planeswalker. And Vile Offering is...
You're going to have 7 mana if you keep it, which is good. Oh, no, you've got to play Planeswalker first. Never mind.
Yeah, so we can't do that. So I'm just going to library this one.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, graveyard, this one. Yeah. Oh, we transform in that. So we could have had 7 if we'd kept it. We have 7 anyway if we want it, but we
Right.
still don't have the double mana, double play anyway that we were thinking about. So we get Mulan Ling and
Cast down.
Cast down. So I'm actually... I'm going to put it here so they can't attack with it, and we're going to cast down the Chain Whirler anyway. I could wait, but we're definitely doing the Chain Whirler. There's no better creature for us to target in their deck, really.
Yeah, you're right, Fiddles. We shouldn't have lost the Ashiok. I didn't notice Ryan's images on my screen above that corner of my...
Well, red keeps narrowly getting us because I'm narrowly making some suboptimal plays. I think
This is also not the deck designed to fight red.
Right.
In all fairness.
But we had some tools there. I just misplayed it.
You do, and I'm probably going to have to tweak this a little bit for next week so that it turns corner on red. It's almost like it is a hard corner.
We can try this again. Probably this is the best if we want to, if this is Planeswalker heavy. We're going first, and I don't see a keep here. Granted, if we get any land, we're probably gonna be able to find some stuff, but
absolutely. But if
let's mulligan. Don't know what we're playing. We're gonna keep this.
That's all good. You can mulligan the Ashiok.
Yeah, I was gonna say Ashiok is the least universally good here, so we're gonna send that down. And now, of course, we're gonna see that we're up against Scape Shift, and wish we had Ashiok.
The only reason we have 3 of them in there is to aggressively draw them early because they are such a crusher against Scape Shift, but you have to draw them before they go off.
Right. More red, not super surprising, especially my ranking level. This is a nice curve out, though. Augur into Narset into Ritual. Erasure or Cast Down? Probably Erasure in case of one of the big red finishing type spells, right?
I think you need to get one Erasure.
And we have a sweeper, and
yeah,
Ritual gets basically everything mono red plays. So
and you have Augur standing there to defend the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Needless to say, Augur has Defender on it, in case you didn't read that.
Yeah, effectively. Against red.
It's written in invisible ink, but in versus red, it's...
Excuse me.
It's amazing how strong Augur is in this particular fight. I almost wonder if there's some sort of deck almost... Did you ever see Zvi's Solution way back in the day?
No. Well, maybe I don't know the name, but we'll remember the deck.
It was this bizarre deck using just terrible cards. I thought it was probably Zvi's best design ever. And what made it so good was it just really did have answers for every question that every deck in the format gave, and they were these terrible cards, but they were great answers. And it was basically white-blue stuff. The 1/1 Pro Red Flyer was one of the cards in that deck from back in the day.
Nice. Yeah, that does sound familiar now that you mention it. He was quite the deck builder. I haven't seen much from him lately, but I remember Zvi as the guy who Snap understood that Vial was broken. He's like, he just immediately built around the Vial, Ether Vial. All right, I'm gonna. What do you think? Keep this?
Keep it, as crazy as it sounds. I mean,
right?
There's good
there's
stuff to take.
lots of stuff to take. Maybe we don't do it next turn. If they go, depends on what they do. If they go chain whirler here, they may go chain whirler so that we don't have a block with the Augur that doesn't trade.
But we're still blocking and trading.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd probably do this and then Chain Whirler, and that's fine, because then we're going to Ritual.
Also written in invisible ink is this creature must block.
Right. Defender must block if able. Okay, so we could Ritual here. They don't have any more creatures, though, so I kind of like taking a hit from the Chain Whirler and going with Thought Erasure here.
So I wouldn't. I would
You
go the
wouldn't?
other way.
You
I would
just go ahead and Ritual?
Yeah.
All right. I'll follow Jay's advice. Certainly, we're going to get something with Thought Erasure. They can't empty their hand here.
Yeah, next turn you can Narset and Thought Erasure.
Yeah, that's a good point. We did use all of our mana here.
To the extreme, I rock a mic like a vandal. Light up a stage and wax a chump like a candle. Dance!
And we know everything they're up to, but I think it is what it is.
Still keep with the plan.
Still keep with the plan. This may cause them to fire off their one bolt, which is actually good for us, because then we get the other one. And, back-to-back Narsets, I'll keep that, actually. Because they can use their resources to deal with the one. We'll get the other one right now. If they just go for face, I think the double Narset will get us to the tools we need. Maybe not, I've been wrong about this, and we keep narrowly losing to red. We'll see if that happens here.
I'm probably going to need to put in 2 of the 5 casting cost removal, gain 4 life. That's usually what it is that puts it over the edge if you're dealing with a lot of red.
What's the exact card? Gain 4. The
sorcery.
Yeah. Isn't it?
Put the 4/4 amass for mill 4.
Yeah, the do 3 things one.
Mm-hmm.
Enter the God Pharaohs.
Thank you.
Yeah. I was thinking that was 4. That was why I didn't think of it.
Draw first.
Yeah, let's find the answer. Cry? Does Cry do it on this board?
Cry
Oh, it
does,
sure
yeah.
does. Cry, opponent, cry. Although they still have a chance, we're at 4. They're red. They could go light up the stage, bam, bam. Or Experimental Frenzy, get there before you can kill us. That's another thing that can happen. We'll go Graveyard there, though. Look for some action. I guess a land gets us Lily. I don't know if Lily's actually what we want, though. Here we have Vile Offering, but I kind of want Narset. Do we want to... We're not even bringing anything back except Augur.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go with Narset.
There are so many mysteries to uncover. Meditate and prepare.
Whiff. Unusual. Hard to whiff with Narset in this deck, but it happens. Oppo whiffing as well. Not there, though. Ooh, need that. Get us some life here. And we'll transform. This is the emergency. This gets us out of random bolt range. I guess I could have looked for a card first, but it was so sure that we were going to use this to get life, I didn't even stop to think.
Keep an open mind.
Thought Erasure, not so useful against a deck on Frenzy, but making a 4/4 elemental is exactly what we need to try and get this taken care of before we lose. Yawgmoth can't it's black. There's no way we can... if the pie is still the pie... Yeah, it's funny. We keep narrowly losing to red. Oh well.
Right, this is you're just a hair behind it. It doesn't have the ability to lock. Let's go ahead and swap over to the other deck.
Sure, we see what that one is up to. Unfortunately, we didn't get to really laugh in the face, of a Scape Shift deck, but we see what it's up
Or
to.
any of the control.
Yeah. Just back to back red, but so it goes. All right, I'm going to go to Stream Decker to switch our active deck.
if you could also put up on the screen this deck. This deck is, oh my god, complicated to
Oh
play.
boy.
I mean,
I
this
called it
one,
This Charming Karn because when we drafted a bunch of weaponsmiths recently, we named our deck This Charming Man after the Smiths song. So since we were running 4 weaponsmiths and a Karn, I thought This Charming Karn was a good title here.
by the way, I can't claim this deck. It is a very minor modification of a deck that a couple of weeks ago was interesting and made top 16. And honestly, I think in the right hands, it could have done really well. I actually think it may be better than Scape Shift for basically being out and out combo. And thanks for pulling it up. So the combo in this deck is basically you're going to get a cajillion mana. You're generally going to flood to clean the board, drop back out your cajillion mana, and get all of your manifold keys out and time warp win, or put out a million 1/1s with the Thopterist. It is part of the thing is because it is not it's not exactly cookie cutter. This is directly where you go. You constantly have to be thinking about what the best play is in this deck and how you're going to win. It does win. The sideboard is absolutely key because the deck is all about fetching things with the Karn because you draw so many cards. And the sideboard is very carefully designed.
Mm-hmm.
No black splash. I certainly thought about it, but playing it in its original form, it didn't help. Yep. Thank you for showing the sideboard. So Mox Amber. It seems like you'd be terrible, but it works because you have legendary creatures, 3 of them, and that's enough. You almost always put the God Pharaoh out to help slow down the opponent. Manifold Key is the one you're tutoring for. You're going to put out Uzin, but often the first thing, I'll move down a little bit. I don't even remember the name of some of this jank. There's a 4-drop artifact in the sideboard. There it is. Mystic.
Yeah, let's do it this way. It'll be easier.
Mystic Forge is your experimental frenzy that you go for. Meteor Golem is your generic, but you often go for this card first so you can just play out a bunch of things. And don't forget, it doesn't just let you play basically your whole deck like you have Experimental Frenzy. It also mills one. Mm-hmm. And it mills more than one because Manifold Key will untap it to let you mill one more off of yourself if needs be. Assuming you're not using the mana for Lotus, and you can see how this is crazy complex.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here.
There is. And don't forget, everything gets -2 once you get the Planeswalker out.
Well, allow me to humiliate myself in front of you all. Looks exciting.
This deck is exciting, and it is awesome. And wow, is it hard.
I love me an Upheaval and Cube. This just feels like I'm playing an Upheaval deck.
That's not a bad way to start thinking about it. Don't feel bad when you lose first couple. It's going to happen.
Nah, I got this. Place your bets.
I mean, it's correct to play the amulet, but it's actually something that deserves thought in this deck.
Oh, really? I'm just autopiloting, of course.
Right. Of course.
Weaponsmith?
This one's easy. Yeah, Weaponsmith.
Yeah.
The reason that you have to think about the amulet is you could drop the 3-drop guy.
Are we fetching anything with a Weaponsmith, or is it purely mana?
He does have that ability. Nah, he's just mana.
Okay, so I don't need to
he's just a 1/3 super elf. So far, so good, though.
Oh, I did come up a little short. You had the deck had 4 of the City's Blessing draw card land. Mm-hmm. I only had 1 of those crafted, and even though this is our paid account, these are close to rotation, and I didn't quite feel the need to go up to 4 of those. So I put in
up to 3. I hope.
I put in no, sorry, I only have the 1. If that's devastating, we can go craft. I'm willing to craft if you feel it's essential. But I did Blast Zone, and I put in 2 Cryptic Caves just as something similar, but obviously...
So 2 or 3 might be relevant. Anyway, let's put the Blast Zone out.
Okay.
We got to play 'cause time's relevant on this. Power charge.
Oh, yeah, sorry. So I missed I had the 3. Then we get this.
Now you have a hard decision. I think
crack
that's
or play?
Right. I think you play. And the reason you play is you can crack later if you need it.
Mm-hmm.
I think. Because you've got 4, you can get Karn.
We want to go Karn or just treasure map? Karn, if we drop Karn, what are we doing? Let's see. We can go get a land, though, and actually play it. Should we just build our mana here?
You have to build your mana here. So that's almost certainly good. Let's build mana. The question is, do we drop Karn afterwards?
Because we could also go treasure map activate instead.
I think you might actually get Karn to, but you lose the Karn if you do this.
Minus,
yeah,
right?
Treasure map activate, I think, is right.
All right, we'll do that. We could also go activate other amulet if we wanted to be sure
well,
of
remember,
5.
you need to get 4 permanents out, and 1/1 flying tokens don't count because you need to flood in a moment.
I see.
Because you want to flood, but you also want to be able to have it drop the Karn right back.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. That makes sense. Well, let's take a look here then. I guess we want the land, but we don't have. If we keep the land, we don't have the flood permanence anyway.
Sure, you can still do it, but it's a toss-up. I would probably put it in the discard, but I don't know. I put it on the bottom, but I'm not sure I'm right.
Well, I'll go with your probably over my no clue. See, we got our arch. No worries. We just have to draw it.
That works too, as long as you draw it every time you're in business.
Karn and distract, or do we need to flood here and not die?
You're not threatening death, so.
All right, so let's Karn.
Yeah, I think.
And we can get a...
How many permanents do we have?
We have 4.
Good, that's a big win. The question is what we get with Karn.
Yeah,
so
let's go look. If we want to play something, it has to be a 2. They have cards in hand, so Spyglass might not be the... Whoa. That was weird.
Spyglass isn't bad. Compass isn't bad. Either one of the compasses aren't bad.
Let's go Compass, or maybe Amber gives us... well, we might not have it.
It doesn't give you mana right now. You don't have the right trigger.
Yeah, that's true. So we're going to go with...
that's
Compass.
Karn +1 makes more power stones?
I don't know how that works.
Thanks, Karn. Okay, got it.
Gotta take this, though. Got him. We're at 0. I needed to do something. So now we get to flood and play something, but we don't have particularly spectacular plays. We can leave an upkeep scry if we want. Let's see. I'm assuming they're going to take out Karn here. What do you know? They're taking out Karn.
Farewell, and thank you for the lesson.
So, is there any reason to treasure map here? We do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We don't have 7, so we can't really do it. We need to make sure we have the 6. Ugin, you say? Well, we can play Ugin and not die.
No, you flood and drop out.
Oh, drop Ugin.
From
Sure,
the flood.
yeah. There we go. Now you're thinking. It's like you've played this deck before, and there's no mana to float. We're using everything we can to do this, so.
Right.
So it goes. Now this has haste, but only as a 4/4, so Ugin gets to survive here. Oh, why is everything 0? Is that what?
You get to drop all this out for free.
Oh.
That's part of the fun. Because Ugin reduces it by 2.
Oh, Ugin reduction. There we go.
Which probably, yeah. Crazy, isn't it?
Ugin, so it turned out to be the perfect draw. And you're right. Without you here to guide me, I would have punted this game away 7 times already.
And I still think we may have made a mistake, a critical mistake, breaking the amulet.
Although if we hadn't, we wouldn't have the land we have now. We did play a land that turn.
We also put a land on the bottom. We could have had.
That's true. Well, Ugin, you got a job. We know what that is. It's going to be to destroy a Hellkite. And maybe I should have had stop on the upkeep, but we can draw a card. We get a shard. And
Get a shard. Don't forget the compass is gonna turn into a maze.
Mm-hmm. That's good. I guess we attack first though. There's no reason not to attack. If we draw, we basically use up all of our mana to do so. So I think we're just passing from here.
I think so. Yeah.
And then probably drawing, but maybe there's a reason to scry instead. I should put the upkeep. Well, now we're just dead.
Oh, it didn't convert. We were 1 shy.
Oh, so maybe I needed to go get it. Although we played a land, so it's not like...
Okay.
Yeah, we did what we could. I think we did.
Yeah, you're dead. If I didn't count it, I thought, or I miscounted it if I did.
Well, our win percentage hasn't been great so far, but I love these decks. This one is very interesting.
So I intend to try and push this one further over the next week as well to see what I can get from it. It does take forever to play, of course.
Ostensibly, we like playing Magic, and that's okay. But
Oh, absolutely. I enjoy playing it. I feel sort of bad for my opponent because I'll take some turns to take 5 minutes.
they've got a concede button available to them. And they're on the internet. They're just looking at something else anyway.
Right.
All right, we're going to keep this and try and power out to something.
Good. Double power shard.
Has explosive potential. I'm going to start on the Void, actually, to scry for our next draw. I think we actually want that land. We need a 3rd land to really get going here. I guess we have the amulet, but as I've learned, we don't always want to crack it.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's...
Ramp Wars. Brown versus green.
I think we're going to show them something about mana.
This is not limited. The ticker down below is correct, although this record is... If we really want to show the record, it's not 2-1. Futtrick, when he's available, bring on Mr. Jay Schneider, who's joined me here on Skype to do some constructed brewing on Friday afternoons. So that's where we're at right now.
So one of the interesting things is you almost have it's not actually an interesting choice with experience, but Power Stone is better than Mana Geode, although the Scry almost pushes it over the edge.
We're not cracking here, though. We're going to go with the Mana...
I wouldn't. I would
right.
keep my permanent.
Triple Power Stone Shard.
We are definitely going to teach him what mana is about.
Yeah, let's do this. Are we now that we have all these permanents? Do we crack the amulet now?
Now
we don't have a land.
Well, let's see. Yeah, I think you do, but watch me be wrong.
And we'd be wrong if we needed it in our artifact or permanent count?
Correct. If we needed it for 4 to get to rain.
Well, we know what they're gonna do. I sometimes I'll wait.
I think you break.
I mean, I'm gonna break. I just like if I break it. Yeah, we're not gonna do anything else. So I'm gonna do this for the auto pass tech.
Harness the elements.
So they have no 1-drop because didn't even stop for them.
Mm-hmm. Drop
Play
out a
this
land.
one.
Play
and
Power Shard 1. So that's 5 mana.
This will be 6, right?
Right, so play that one. It'll hopefully tap a power good. It
Then
did it
Lotus.
correctly. Now you've got 6.
Yeah, we do this.
Correct.
Into this.
You definitely are showing them what mana's all about.
And we're going to find something to do besides that.
Not that.
And then do this. Well, they've got Nissa, so we are really both showing each other what, how we can ramp in this format, you know? Nissa's a pretty darn good ramp spell if she survives to untap.
So you have 15 mana here.
To there, let's see. 5, but they animate this. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so it's our 15 to their 10. We're winning. What are we doing on the upkeep that we need to stop for? Oh, treasure map? Yeah, good call.
Thank you. Definitely up.
Chat is paying attention. I'm not.
We got it, Logan. Thank you. Because the really
Sure
there is a
is.
deck list.
I have a Stream Decker going, so if you want to look at the deck on Fridays when we're playing with Jay, exclamation point deck will show you the current deck.
The land shall conquer you.
Always next season. Must be a Mariners fan. I'm sorry.
It's football season now. Who cares about the Mariners? Time to watch Seahawks.
Indeed. Yeah, Upheaval would be great. Let's Upheaval. That'd be so sweet.
One of the things you find in this deck is the opponent tends to have an unbelievable number of cards in their hand.
Come on,
Usually-
one time. No weaponsmith needed.
No, not at all.
One time flood. Here we go. Here we go. Ah. Oh, wow. I was right. Always next season is indeed a Mariners fan. Funny. At least the Panthers break your heart in the postseason. I'm not going to show him this
I
land
think
right
you're-
now. Are we just dead? We're just
I
dead.
think you're just dead.
All right.
You're just dead on the table.
Darn it. All ramped up and nowhere to go. All right. I'm going to give it one more game here. Then I'm going to let Jay go, and I'm going to go have some lunch. I'm going to wake up my teenagers and force them to practice driving.
So I probably should talk about one other thing that I think your audience might be interested in. I went to the WotC reunion this last weekend.
Oh, I wasn't. Did I not get allowed to? I think I was not allowed to join.
You were allowed to, but only late. You were
Oh.
relatively recent. You were only basically invited in the last week or two.
Oh, I would have gone. I was trying to pay attention to that. That's too bad.
So just to let folks know what we're talking about, the first ever Wizards of the Coast alumni and current people reunion occurred at one of the ranches owned by one of the original founders of Wizards. And I want to say that there were more of the original founders of Wizards there than have been together in probably 30 years.
Neat.
There were 10 of the original 12 investors and initial players. Richard wasn't there.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah.
I keep wanting to meet Peter Adkison because he did me such a solid when I was a young Magic player, and I've never had the opportunity to actually meet him and thank him for that in person.
Well, if you had gone, you probably would have sat at my table, and Peter sat next to me along with his wife Dee, who honestly. Peter was busy charming everyone around at the picnic, and I mostly hang out with Dee, who is a fantastic person. She's a hardcore gamer.
Oh, I bet.
And, we basically traded Gen Con favorite game stories over lunch. Let's see, Nate Heiss, another R&D person, sat at our table, as did Devin Lowe, who's one of the longtime developers at R&D. And it was just at this ranch, and there were maybe 150 early WotC types. WotC types of all ages. Interesting. So for those of you who don't know, Ryan basically came into my slot. Did you meet Allison, Ryan? I think she worked for you for a short while.
Yeah, Allie Medwin.
Yeah, Allie Steele.
Allie, yeah, she's now Allie Steele. I worked with her for 5.5 years as Allie Medwin, so it's tough to make the adjustment, but she's now Allie Steele, yes.
Right. She was there. She had lunch with us, as did one of their new people, the person who's working on basically interacting with the Chinese market.
Cool.
Yeah, no, it was just all in all a great picnic, and it was really neat to see these people who basically are myth and legend.
Yeah, I was tracking that thing. I put it that I was interested, and then I didn't put a calendar remind me to check a calendar reminder. I wish they had I wish I could have bought a ticket and then if I don't, give me my money back if it fills up or something. Yeah, it sounds awesome, but now I'm just super bummed that I could have gone and didn't. Looks like we're heading towards another loss here, getting ranched by dinos. I think if I had played a weaponsmith, it would have been
Did you have the
killed.
weaponsmith on the second turn? Or?
I did. I got one killed, and then I went with Geode over the second smith. But maybe that was a mistake. I think we need all the land we can get, though. If we survive, we're going to probably need that island. We have the flood. I don't know if we can survive, though. I guess Karn.
Well, you have a geode. You can geode into the weaponsmith.
Yeah, and then the weaponsmith blocks.
And the weaponsmith jumps.
But they have the -2, so they just fight and win is the problem.
And that's...
I guess we're not at dead. We're just mostly dead. So we'll send them all back, but I think we can even take it, right? I guess we have to...
assuming you live.
I think we live. Oh, no, this is getting bigger. Sorry, I forgot this was getting bigger. So we can't take this. We're chumping there. And we're not dead, though.
Unless they can...
Trample. I mean, they're out of cards, right? This is just...
Yeah, I'm just making sure. So, chump. Axis.
I don't know how we win after we reset the board.
Oh, that's... Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Were you doing something?
Do you have anything with haste?
I've seen nothing with haste, and it doesn't really,
That was
matter how many cards that they have. thing they have with haste.
Yeah, let's see.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we don't
I could have
enough for the
floated
fourth
mana, but there was
so-
nothing to do with the
Yeah.
one floated mana, so I didn't bother. Wow, they reloaded quickly. And I think that's us being done for, unless we can... Yeah, I think we're done. Can't beat that
it's
one.
running just a hair slow.
Yeah, we're just, we've been so close to greatness with these decks. We're just not quite getting there. I'm going to play one more. I said I was going to leave, but it's not 1 o'clock yet. I'll jump in for one more here. We got this.
This is one of the issues with a very mature and aggressive format. It tends to limit truly how much can be played. Someone was talking about how they preferred control-heavy formats, and I guess my favorite format is one that allows mid-range decks because it allows the greatest variety.
Mm-hmm.
And while it's not truly true that, that the health of a format equals a number of viable decks, there can be too many, and, there's certainly other factors. It's certainly an indicator.
We'll go with map here and crack an amulet if we need to next turn. Hopefully we draw a land and just shard and not completely die to what we're seeing here. Wow, 1, 2, 3, Firebrand, Steamkin into Warboss is not what this friendly little deck was looking to see. Forget it. I'm going to do one more time. Because it's only 12:59. We haven't hit 1 o'clock yet. Not that, 1 o'clock is my firm stop time, but it's words I can say. Actually, I don't think... This probably isn't as good of a best of 3 deck because you used up your entire sideboarding slots on the Karn plan. We keep this?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I don't see why not.
It all looks like garbage to me, that's why. But we have to find we have our void that finds the non-garbage, though, so hopefully that'll happen here. More mana? I think we gotta ditch that. We need more action. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna go Amulet here over Key. Well, it's not a mountain. No Key Amulet since we have action for next turn, and then Key... I guess we need to get those stones, and then the Key starts getting crazy.
Well, you need one of the larger stones, more than the mana geode.
Right, the geode is not going to do it. That's what I meant. The
there you go.
Doesn't the other one have stone in it?
It does. But more importantly, you've got the Lotus you can get, which...
Yeah, that untaps nicely with the Key, and we'll keep that land. Shard, thank you. Not stone, shard. Is it Power Shard? I think I was thinking of there's an old game for the Dreamcast called Power Stone that I was thinking of. Oh, it does say Power Stones. Power Stone Shard, but that's why it makes me think of that Dreamcast game. Power Stone was awesome. Anybody out there, Dreamcast players? Any old people besides me and Jay? I don't know if Jay was a Dreamcast player, but I logged some hours.
I was Atari.
Dreamcast was the first console that I purchased at launch.
just as a quick comment, the blast zones in here are going to hurt you instead of the card that it should have been, or it was intentional.
Sure. Yep.
Because right here it would have been your mana, your not mana, your
I'm gonna
draw engine.
bin the Power Stone, and we already have the Lotus here. Now, at this point, do we want to crack amulets just to thin our deck a little bit and both find our
You've
land
got
draws?
4. I would do it, but as the end of the turn.
Sure. But yeah, at end of
Just
turn,
to make
crack
sure.
those.
Yeah.
Always next season, yes. Dreamcast.
So we know what he is. This is a escape shift deck. Go ahead
Yes.
and grab your 2 lands if you want.
Yeah, that's true.
You can let him sit. If anyone deserves to sit. Let Oppo take some time.
Well, I'm with you there, Mama. My first video game console was the original Pong machine, but didn't buy it at launch. Dreamcast was the first one where I was like, I pre-ordered and got there in the store on the first day available.
So I was playing on a machine called the Vectrex at around that period.
Vectrex. I don't think I ever played that one.
It was a vector graphics machine
Oh,
made in the UK. And yeah,
you're garbling up a little bit. I don't know. Maybe we need to redo the call. We're almost done, though, so I think I'll just let it ride. But you're chopping in and out, Jay, at least for me. But vector graphics, yeah.
don't know if it's my connection. It was vector graphics made in the UK, but sold in some places in the US.
For those who don't know the difference, vector graphics versus bitmap graphics is the idea of, are your graphics created by defining what each point on the screen's color is, or are your graphics defined by form? Thank you, Mobius. Are your graphics made by defining the line between 2 points and then making a bunch of mathematically generated lines? And vector graphics were always looked higher resolution in a sense, you know, more I don't know, yeah, higher res, but they were very limited. They're very linear. But yeah, you're totally right. Like we'd be, although let's see, yeah, we'd just be getting to our engine now. No, I guess we cracked those amulets. So let's go with a globe though first. See what this produces for us. Well, that's the thing. Vector graphics were pretty clever because they didn't, since it was just a formula, it actually didn't require a ton of processing power. Well, we got the flood, but nowhere to go with it. I'm going to wait. If they do, our worst case scenario here is they go, they get to go, this is an instant, is it? No. So our nightmare is that Baby Teferi enables a end step instant speed scape shift from Oppo. They are looking to get rid of our what's?
That is correct.
Am I playing the MCQW tomorrow? I don't even know what that is, so
right now,
probably
they're
not.
not sure what we are. As really as we need the card.
I have to look up all these new opportunities. Is MCQ, what's MCQW? Seriously, Mythic Championship Qualifier Wild Time West Weekend. I'm just so non-aspirational on that level at this point. I should try and spike my tournaments. I mean, I would take it if I could get it, but it's just not where my head's at all. High-ranked MTGA players, of which I am not. Well, if I'm going optimal in my arena, yes. But if I'm going optimal in life, perhaps turning off the computer and going outside is optimal. You know what I mean? But I'll check it out.
I'm doing paperwork all weekend.
That seems very suboptimal. I'm also not adjusting these blast zones at all. I'm treating them like they're colorless lands. I might as well actually think ahead. Like, we could put these to 3. Teferi is annoying, so yeah, we should have a blast zone on 3 by now, and it's just been lazy play on my part to not have it.
You might want to, at some point in time, you can flood and at least get out some cards back with
Globe.
Yeah, with Globe, but it's Globe and Scry. But I guess there's no rush until you see it Fairy.
So now they've got to 3, and they would get just the Geode, which is not crazy. Maybe they're going to try... could they have gone higher there? No, I guess that was their maximum. Maybe they might try and get the Lotus or something. But they've already pushed their blast zone past the Manifold Keys. These attacks are so funny, like, it just doesn't matter with Scape Shift. Like, it's just not... It can matter. I've actually had, like, I've resolved 2 Scape Shifts and attacked with everything and got them to -2. You know, like, that I barely had enough zombies. So it can... Alright, Oppo did it for us. So there's that.
I'm not sure why Oppo did it, but... that's why.
Well, they don't get the... We get to go ahead and add 3 to ours. We'll add 2 to this one. Although I maybe should full control it here and choose how to pay. And then we can even untap this with the leftover. Oh, sorry. I was thinking I got more mana than I did there. Never mind. That's fine anyway.
I know my responsibility.
Let's see. What do we want to put on the other blast zone? What other permanents does Scape Shift play that we might want to blow up? That aren't just the tokens.
They play the creature.
The 2, so we want it on 2?
Right.
The creature is the X spell draw and gain life one. That's what Jay's talking about. Krasis, Hydroid Krasis.
Thank you.
Let's try this.
Alright, we'll go back with the Lotus. And we can go Shard. We can...
You can sacrifice before you play the shard.
Before
you play the shard.
Sacrifice the Globe, you mean?
The blast zone.
Oh, the blast zone, sure. Oh, yeah, too late. I wasn't thinking about that. Bad play, Ryan. Bad sequencing. Well, we're going to use the mana from it then. And I guess we just go untap this, which means you now have too much mana, but that's all right too.
We will meet
We still have Gilded Lotus, and Double Key gives us the big mana for Flood shenanigans, but it was very silly of me to just throw away a shard. We have the other blast on 2 in case of the big Hydroid, and I'll leave it there for now. Although I guess if we get Teferi, but they even get, like, it doesn't even stop them from doing the Teferi instant speed scape shift trick. So if they do that, they just do that, and we can't stop it now.
Yeah, we really need to go off and...
You can see how it's... I mean, having the blast zone was helpful on one level of getting rid of Teferi, but if we had the card draw engine now, we'd probably be in game-winning shape.
Given we had about 20 mana on the table.
The deck closes out with Flood of Tears, returning... what are they going for? That's funny. That's cool. This is actually a great combo for us. We don't have to recast whatever they take. When we Flood of Tears, we just get those back. All right, let's void it up.
Well, it does drop us. It drops us below 4, which is the concern.
Oh, that's true. But it's not like we have anything great to replay anyway. Psy is interesting. All right, Fiddles, thanks for hanging. We'll see you. Are we just taking this because it's something?
That's one of the kills someone had asked about, Psy being one of them.
All right, we'll keep that then. See how that works.
Remember, Thopters don't count to the 4, though.
Mm-hmm. It's non-token. I was just going to do this now, since they've generated some tokens here. But what do you think?
No, I think so. Let's go ahead and do it. Don't forget to tap all your mana.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to be able to get a free play.
Although I don't need to tap the mana because the lands don't return, so that part doesn't matter much.
That's true, yeah.
I'm playing actual upheaval style there with that move.
And yeah, makes you have 1 left, so that's okay.
No artifacts for it at the moment, but... Oh, actually, maybe you should have waited. They're just going to detention it, right? So it was kind of silly. You just gave him a detention target. But this is classically me playing standard. Standard for no stakes. I just play fast and loose. Faster and looser. That's all right. We're going to draw another Flood right off the top. They're going to play their detention, and then it's going to work out great for us. This is the worst part. Waiting for the Scapeshift player to find their lands. That's a weird choice. You must be Scapeshifting again right now. What I mean by weird choice is that they didn't just sack it all. Like, usually, if you only have one Scapeshift, you just sack it all. So they must have another now, and they're going to do it again. No?
No, they're just being cautious against you wiping their board.
Yeah, I still don't understand why they wouldn't go for some other lands then. I guess because you could float the mana and just have more zombies. I don't know why you wouldn't do that. It's not your time. You can draw a card for a couple of artifacts, but no. I think are we just dead? Have any sort of card draw? I guess we have to draw cards and look for the Flood, but it costs mana to do so. So let's go like this, And we're gonna have to sack. Hope for an answer. Oops. Well, doesn't quite do it though, does it? Let's see. We have 2 blocks, 8, 7, 6. We'd have 6 attackers. Yeah, we survive.
Every exploit ripples through time. Be mindful.
Destroy or make a dude. Probably
Destroy, I think.
destroy. It's similar life saved. And if we do get a combo card, this allows us to draw 2 more off the Thopterist. And if we draw... Well, I guess we've lost our combo engines with the key. Mainly, it just allows us to draw 1 more next turn to try and find it out. Hey, Brian. Yeah, we're close. I keep threatening to leave, and then we had some lousy games, so I was trying to end on a good one. This is at least good enough to end on as we look for an answer. All right, Ugin is gone, and we take only half our life.
I shall withdraw from this petty squabbling.
Not too much difference between that and another escape shift, really. We're just facing enough zombies that we're dead unless we find one of our floods left. Not gonna do it, but we do have draws from here. Let's see, is it better to geode or just... Yeah, because let's scry, and then... Trouble is we need to be able to cast the flood, and I guess we can't cast the flood if we cast the geode, so we have to do it this way. And this doesn't net us any mana to use in any way, so yep, we're just doing this, looking for a flood. Boo! That would have been fun, finding one more flood and sending back all these zombies. We missed it, though. Yeah, we could use weapon sense to cast Geode. Unfortunately, that doesn't give a... Well, I'll take a look, because maybe it was... Although we were still just like 1 mana short, because we still would have had to have... No, then we get it. All right, let's see if I should have done this first. If we scry ourselves... Nope, wasn't going to get there. All right. We did our best. Interesting decks. I'm going to keep tinkering with them. I'll see about playing competitive Magic this weekend. Maybe there'll be a window for it. But we're going to let Oppo off the hook. Good job, Oppo. We made it to 3 wins in our traditional event today, though, so the gems are strong on the free-to-play account. We had a good time with Jay and a good time with chat.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good weekend.
Thanks for hanging, Jay. We'll talk to you next week, I hope.
Sounds good.
All right, see you.
Catch y'all later. Bye-bye.